distract them.
Aloha, this is some old guy in Hawaii, and last video I showcased Giant Killer Amara, which paired Terra Ammo Regen with the recently buffed Sleeping Giant SMG. Turns out we can do this on Flak as well, with only minor adjustments in gear. The basic setup and implementation are the same. I refer you to the Amara video for details. In brief though, plan ahead by equipping the appropriate Sleeping Giant based on expected opposition. Confirm our maximum stat buffs before combat whenever possible. Avoid accidental reloads and weapon swaps, etc. Now, despite Flak's fragility, this build is just as viable and just as fun in its own way. Additionally, although the new Season 2 Pass skill trees and gear may improve the overall effectiveness of the build, we don't need the new content to make this work. Now, this is the original skill tree. A run on the Guardian Takedown first crystal charging sequence with this setup proved straightforward and even a little easy. My thinking was that the Iridian Skag and its singularity helps with crowd control. Subsequent to that run though, I revised the build, pulling points from the blue tree to get down to the power inside. I reasoned that this should kill even faster, but at the cost of the Skag and its singularity. A second run on the crystals with that alternate build, however, actually seemed harder. Doable, but harder. So, nonetheless, both trees work. Like Amara, neither build is necessarily optimized. Feel free to move points as you see fit. In both cases, though, the pet is there to draw fire, survive, and occasionally revive us, not do damage. The emphasis here is on gun damage, survivability, and cooldown. Now, unlike Amara, Flak can't run 3 elements at once and do Terra Ammo Regen. Given his pure damage output, however, especially with Megavore, he doesn't need to. The ideal setup for most mobs and some bosses is Corrosion with URAD. Corrosion takes care of any armor bars, radiation handle, shield, and health bars. For Guardians, Corrosion with a shock ASC or vice versa is probably a little better. I, however, did not have a Corrosion shock Sleeping Giant when doing the takedown. Both crystal charging sequences and Anathema instead utilized shock with ASC Cryo, which worked out, although it might have been a bit easier if I remembered to switch from a front-loader shield to a stopgap shield. For Scourge, I switched back to Corrosion URAD. Point is, the build works for the hardest content in the game. I'd already completed several runs of the Molly 1 takedown before attempting the Guardian takedown. Now, occasionally, we may want to swap in a different anointment versus radiation immune bosses. Pure armor or pure health bar bosses we also handle the same way as with Amara. We match gun and anointments, elements, or ramp up gun damage or crit damage. Now, swapping guns during a takedown or in any situation without the jack dummy or a nearby catch ride may mean going without confirming max damage boss before jumping into a boss battle. Now, as with Amara, this is just part of the build, okay? Just the price we pay. Play this build with Amara or Flak enough, and as I said in the last video, we get used to playing reload roulette, the same as when we accidentally reload. Reload, fire, and repeat while in combat till we get what we need and we move on. Now, accidental reload is more likely with Flak than Amara. Notice the 88 round magazine. That's a maximum. It's higher than the 70 minimum I suggested in the last video, but below the 90s or 100s that Amara can achieve. Flak has no magazine increasing skills, and only one that adds back ammo, leave no trace. Now, we might be able to get past 88 given better passes on a Karma or Artifact, but those types of gear are rather rare. That 88 max, however, means that we need to be a bit more careful monitoring our ammo usage and terror level. Okay, we do short bursts one after another, no holding the trigger down indefinitely. We also need to worry about cooldown. Now, I first experiment with Rack Attack to proc terror. It's quick, repeatable, and has no cooldown issue. Flak's fragility, however, still predominated with that action scale, and there were a lot of places where we kept going down way too much. Fade Away, despite having a 15-second duration and much longer cooldown, became the ideal choice. Okay, first, while it's not perfect, the invisibility takes a lot of the heat off of us. It allows us to target and kill with much more safety while in effect. Second, Not My Circus's pet taunt takes that to another level. Used properly with the attack command, this actually makes many mobbing situations, including the Guardian takedown crystal charging sequences, fairly manageable. If we can direct our pet to attack an enemy well away from us, his taunt significantly cuts down on the number of enemies targeting us. Okay. Second, despite its 15-second duration, at least as listed, fadeaway ends as soon as we fire 3 shots. And eager to impress, head count, and even topped up, bring the listed 45-second cooldown to a manageable level, namely less than the approximately 15-second duration of Terra. Cooldown passives on comms and artifacts can reduce it further. Cycling it enough to keep Terra maxed out is fairly straightforward. Spam fadeaway, aggressively go for crits, watch the ammo total, rinse, repeat. Okay. Now as for augments, Gorillas in the Mist keeps us invisible longer, especially for mobbing. For certain mostly lone bosses like Psycho River, however, we may swap in Unblinking Eye for even more damage. Gear-wise, front loader with Terra ammo regen for URAD, whatever we want for other Sleeping Giant variants. As long as the shield has Terra ammo regen, it'll work. Any grenade with ASE apply Terra, also. Any artifact with good passives, magazine size first and foremost. Pearl is an excellent choice in almost any situation. Comm-wise, I've been using this almost perfect level 60 bounty hunting for everything. Okay, Cosmic Stalker with the right passives might work. I'm not a flak man, you tell me. I just know this works as is, and it's a lot of fun. And that's it. Except to re-emphasize that this build, as fun as it is, was put together by an Amara main. You may well be able to make it better. You will most definitely enjoy playing it. Leave a comment below or hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Come visit me at twitchtv.com/SummerGo in Hawaii. I stream at least 3 times per week. And as always, stay safe and thanks for watching.